Welcome to 2026. We have barely finished cleaning up the confetti from New Year's Eve, and my bank account is arguably still recovering from the holiday season. But Apple? Apple does not care about our financial stability. They are kicking down the door of 2026 with absolute chaos. We are talking about a massive product dump in the first half of this year. Leaks are suggesting we are going to see 9, yes, count them, 9 new products drop before we even get to the summer. Now, usually Apple likes to spread these things out, drip-feeding us tech like a slow drip, but not this time. Whether they decide to host a flashy virtual event where Tim Cook stands on a roof, or just bombard our inboxes with press releases remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the leaks are flowing, and some of the stuff is actually wildly impressive. So, grab a coffee, sit back, and let's figure out exactly how much money you are about to lose to the Apple ecosystem this spring. Let's dive in. First up on the roster is the bread and butter of Apple's laptop lineup, the MacBook Air. We are expecting the new M5 version to drop. Now, before you get too excited about a futuristic redesign, let me stop you right there. The chassis? The screen? The keyboard? It is all staying exactly the same as the M2 and M3 models we have grown to love, or merely tolerate depending on how you feel about the notch. The big change here is purely under the hood with that M5 silicone. Apple might be generous and throw us a new color option, maybe a nice forest green or a deep blue that isn't a fingerprint magnet, but do not hold your breath. The best news here is actually the price tag. Despite inflation making everything else expensive, rumors say the base model will stick to that $999 price point. That is a huge win. However, keep in mind that the base model will likely come with a cut-down GPU, so maybe don't try to render a Pixar movie on the entry-level machine. For writing essays and browsing the web, though, it is going to be a beast. But let's be real, the Air is for regular people. If you're a power user, or just someone who likes spending exorbitant amounts of money on pro gear you might not need, product number 2 is for you. We're looking at the new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros with the M5 Pro and M5 Max chips. The performance jumps being leaked here are honestly kind of frightening. We are hearing about a 50 to 55% increase in graphics performance over the M4 chips. That is a massive generational leap. They're likely adding 1 or 2 extra CPU and GPU cores across the board too. Now, for the bad news. If you have been reading the forums and hoping for that gorgeous, deep black OLED display to finally come to the MacBook Pro, I am sorry to break your heart. It looks like Apple is sticking with the mini LED screen for one more generation. This will likely be the final swan song for the current design before a major overhaul in the future. Expect these powerhouses to arrive sometime between March and May. Now, this is where things get weird. Product number 3 is the most mysterious device on this list. We are hearing strong rumors about a budget MacBook. We don't know what they will call it. The MacBook SE? The MacBook Mini? Just the MacBook? Who knows? But the leaks suggest it is going to run on an A-series chip, specifically the A18 or A18 Pro found in the iPhone 16 lineup. I know what you're thinking. An iPhone chip in a laptop? Is this a joke? But hold on. Benchmarks show that the A18 actually rivals the base M1 chip in multi-core speeds and beats the M3 in single-core. This allows Apple to sell a laptop for dirt cheap. We are talking between $599 and $699. They might reuse the old 2018 MacBook Air chassis or bring back that tiny 12-inch design from 2015, hopefully without the butterfly keyboard that broke if you looked at it wrong. If this is real, it is going to absolutely destroy the Chromebook market for students. Speaking of students and budget devices, let's move over to the iPad. Product number 4 is the 11th generation base iPad. This is the entry-level tablet that usually sits awkwardly in the lineup, but this year it is getting a serious brain transplant. It is getting the A18 chip and, crucially, 8 GB of RAM. Why does that matter? Because it means even the cheapest iPad Apple sells will be able to run Apple Intelligence. For $329, you are getting a machine that can handle AI tasks, gaming, and media consumption with ease. For 90% of people who just use an iPad to watch Netflix in bed or distract their toddlers at a restaurant, This is going to be the perfect device. If you need a bit more power but don't want to sell a kidney for the iPad Pro, we have product number 5, the new iPad Air. This update is all about bringing the M4 chip down from the Pro line. That is an insane amount of power for a tablet that mostly gets used for email and sketching. But the big question mark here is the screen. Some leakers are screaming that we might finally get an OLED display on the Air, while others are saying nah, maybe next time. If we do get OLED, expect the price to jump up by probably $100. If we stick with LCD, the price should stay stable. Either way, expect this to drop alongside the new MacBooks in that spring window. Okay, let's leave the home office and go to the living room. Product number 6 is the Apple TV update we were supposed to get last year. It seems Apple delayed it to make sure it was ready for the AI revolution. The new box will house the A17 Pro chip. Yes, the same chip that was in the iPhone 15 Pro is going into a streaming box. Why do you need that much power to watch Ted Lasso? You probably don't. But it will help with Apple Arcade gaming and making Siri actually responsive for once. Physically, it will look the same black hockey puck we know. And the price should stay at that $129 to $149 range, sticking with the smart home theme. Products 7 and 8 are for the audiophiles. First, the HomePod Mini is getting a refresh. Don't expect a new shape. It is still going to look like a mesh ball. The upgrade is internal, likely moving to an S9 chip from the Apple Watch to make handoffs faster and Siri smarter. But product number 8? This is the exciting one. We are finally hearing about a HomePad. This is essentially a HomePod with a screen attached to it. Think of it like an Amazon Echo Show or a Google Nest Hub, but with Apple's design and privacy. It is baffling that Apple hasn't made this yet. A dedicated screen for your kitchen to control your smart home, make FaceTime calls, and see your calendar? Take my money. If this drops in the first half of 2026, it could be the sleeper hit of the year. And finally, product number 9. The device we all bought in 2021 and then forgot about until the battery died, the AirTag. It is time for the AirTag too. The main upgrade here is the second-generation Ultra Wideband chip. This means precision finding will work from much further away. So when you lose your keys in the couch cushions, your phone will find them faster. There are also rumors about a more tamper-proof speaker to prevent bad actors from disabling the sound for stalking purposes, which is a very welcome safety update. So there you have it. 9 products, 6 months, and a whole lot of tech. Apple is clearly trying to flood the market early in 2026 to keep those sales numbers up. Personally, I am most curious about that cheap MacBook. If they can pull off a $600 laptop that doesn't suck, that is a game changer. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows we exist. I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay curious.